That's true. You say compulsion, but it's really a hijack of our biochemistry. So the food industry has designed foods to hijack our biology. There's a book written by Michael Moss called Salt, Sugar, and Fat, where he interviewed 300 food industry executives and whistleblowers and scientists. And basically they said, look, we have taste institutes where we hire craving experts. These are their own terms, to create the bliss point of food, which is the maximum lighting up of your brain. And then we go for targeting marketing to heavy users. So they're not going to get me to drink a can of Coke, but they're going to get someone who's already having Coke to try to drink a 2-liter bottle, right? And they know how to do that. And so the effects of these foods are so harmful on us, and they know what they're doing, and they actually design them to be this way. I mean, the tobacco companies bought a lot of the food companies back in the 70s, RJR Nabisco, Philip Morris Kraft, and they built this whole industry of ultra processed food. I had this view that it was people's fault they were fat. And I went down as part of this movie called Fed Up that I did with Katie Couric and Laurie David about 10 years ago. We went to South Carolina, and I went to Easley, South Carolina, one of the poorest areas in America, one of the worst food deserts in America. There's something called the Retail Environment Food Index, how many fast food and junk food and bodegas there are compared to grocery stores. They're like 10 to 1. And this family of 5 lived in a trailer. They were on disability and food stamps, and they wanted to sort of get healthy. And I asked them, why do you want to get healthy? Because I'm like, why do you want to be in this movie? They said, well, my dad's 42. He has type 2 diabetes from the food he ate. He has kidney failure. He's on dialysis. He's going to die unless he loses 40 pounds. And we can't get him to lose 40 pounds. We don't know what to do. The mother was well over 150 pounds overweight. The son was, 16 years old, almost diabetic, 50% body fat. It should be 10 to 20%. I said, rather than giving a lecture about what to do and what to eat, I said, let's go to your house. Let's go shopping, get some simple foods that are inexpensive, that are whole foods, that are healthy to eat. So we made turkey chili. This was from Good Food on a Tight Budget, a guide from the Environmental Working Group. I said, here's turkey chili. Here's how to roast some sweet potatoes. Here's how to stir fry asparagus. Here's how to make a salad from not just iceberg lettuce, but some real lettuce. Here's olive oil and vinegar dressing.
Wait, iceberg is not real lettuce?
No. It's pretty much nutritionally vapid food. I would not,
oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, it's fine if you want to eat it, but it's not fully dense with phytochemicals and nutrients.
Oh.
And so we basically showed them and I went through their cupboards, everything in their cupboard. They had low fat this and Cool Whip they thought was healthy because it said no trans fats, but the FDA with the inclusion with the food industry allowed a food to say no trans fats that have less than half a gram per serving. So basically they're just duping the American public, and we need clear transparency and information. So they didn't know what they were eating, and everything was frozen or packaged or canned or boxed. They never cooked anything. They didn't have cutting boards. They didn't have knives. They never cooked anything in their kitchen. And so we made turkey chili. We made this whole meal. We sat down and ate it, and it was so delicious. And the son goes, Dr. Hyman, do you like this for your family every night? I'm like, yeah, I do. And it wasn't hard. It wasn't difficult. It didn't take too much time. And I said, listen, I don't know if you can do this, but here's this guide on how to eat well for less. Here's my cookbook on how to actually eat healthy, and try it. And on the plane, I sent them cutting boards and knives because they didn't have anything to cut. I mean, we were cutting like with a butter knife, trying to cut sweet potatoes. It was ridiculous, hard sweet potatoes.
They had no utensils in there.
Nothing, not for cooking, right? And so the first week, the mother texted me back. She said, Mark, we lost 18 pounds. I'm like, amazing. And a year, they lost over 200 pounds as a family. The father lost 45, got a new kidney. The mother lost 100 plus pounds. The son lost 50, but he went to work at Bojangles and gained it back. He said it was like putting an alcoholic to work in a bar. And then he gained all the weight back. And then he called me a few years later. He said, Mark, can you help me? I was like, yeah. We said Dr. Hyman, but yeah. I said, yeah. And so I coached him and got him. He lost 132 pounds. And he's the first kid in his family to go to college. He wrote me a letter. He said, Mark, can you write me a letter of recommendation for medical school? And now he's a doctor. So, and he lost all that weight. So what that taught me was that it's really about education, about information, about skills. I don't know if you know this story, but in the
but hold on. Yes, but you can know the right path and not take it. There's a compulsion attached to certain kinds of food.
100%. And this is well documented, Tucker.
It is well documented.
Well documented. And the studies are published. There was a large study published reviewing all the literature on food addiction. And there's something called the Yale Food Addiction Scale, which is questions you can look it up online. You just answer the questions, and it tells you if you're a food addict. Just as if you can do a questionnaire to tell if you're an alcoholic. There's 14% of the adult population are alcoholics. 14% of people are food addicted, and 12% of children are food addicted by the scientific definition of food addiction. Not just, oh yeah, this is addictive, but actually biologically addictive, measuring the things you need to measure to determine addiction. And so if that's true, you say compulsion, but it's really a hijack of our biochemistry. So the food industry has designed foods to hijack our biology.